welcome back to the shop. Glad you're able to join us. We're blessed to have you. What we're doing for this build is we're going to be taking some of this maple. I got a whole bunch of it over there, and we're going to be using it to make two cutting boards. A cousin of mine got a hold of me, asked me to stop out to his house. He had a whole bunch of maple already milled up that he had milled for a long time, and he had a design in mind that he wanted. He showed me what he wanted. We measured up his current cutting board that he has. So these two boards are going to be 18 by 24. One side gets a juice groove, the other side is just completely flat, and they have a lip on either side so that the board is reversible, and then the board slides right into the countertop. He was quite specific about the fact that he wanted the maple in it that he'd already milled up, which I really like. One of the boards he did ask me to contrast the colors a little bit, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to add in a little bit of walnut, or maybe a combination of a little bit of walnut and cherry to get a redness factor in there too. So let's dig right into the build. I got the joiner all set up on the table here. We just got to plug it in, hook the dust collection hose into it, and we'll start cutting some lumber. All the pieces jointed for the first board that we're making, and the big boards that my cousin ordered from me. You probably saw me on the last three pieces that we put through the machine. I made a mark on the two sides that I surfaced, and before I showed you the last three, I made that mark on every piece. Now all that says to me is, as I plane this board down, because the next thing is I'm going to run it through the planer, and then I'm going to use this edge to cut my straight edge so that I can start to put these boards together and get a nice tight joint. See the gap there? So once these things have been planed down, once they're run through the table saw, and I use this up against the fence, this side here up against the fence, these are my reference marks. Then what I should be able to do is glue it from either side and have a nice tight joint like that, like what I just ran through the planer where you can't see a gap. come to the close of this cutting board build. There were a few hiccups along the way in this build. Probably the most significant one happened right at the tail end of the build. In the process of me drilling out the holes for the screw sets, and also the holes for the screws to go down through the edge of the top of the, I guess the holding lip is what you would call it, on both boards. Either my clamp or my table traveled, so the screw sets themselves that go into the boards were not actually able to line up with the lips. Let me get a screw set, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I believe that I've already showed you some in the process of building the boards, but this little screw set goes down inside the board itself, and then you screw a button head screw down into it, or whatever you choose. I chose button head screws because they have a nice rounded top. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the first two holes line up, the fourth hole lines up. The third hole is a little bit low, and that just didn't work. So what we're going to do with these boards, we are going to recover these boards for the best that we can. I'm going to put it on the table saw, I'm going to cut the juice groove out of it. But during the course of that learning curve, we were able to complete two really nice boards. Everything lined up nicely. I left a little bit of the saw marks in that lip just to give kind of a rustic or more handmade feel. Same way on this side. One side of the board gets a juice groove, one side doesn't. That board obviously is made of maple and walnut. This board here is full maple. That's your side with the juice groove, and then there's your side without. Now the design behind this board when it came to me is the board is supposed to sit on the countertop and slide into place and kind of create a stability, which appears to work just fine. So even with the mistakes, even with the loss of some of the wood, this was a good build. I learned an awful lot on this build. I think we'll probably try to build a couple more boards this way and put them in our shop. I do appreciate the opportunity to build these boards, and Mike, thank you for the order. If you happen to watch the video, I do appreciate the business. I appreciate the extra lumber that you gave me on the side. This has been a fun build. It's been a challenging build. As a result of me having the error in the boards and having to rebuild them, it's been a little bit of time since I've been able to post a video. Over the course of that time, we've picked up a few subscribers. I'm always appreciative for the subscribers that I have and the new ones that are coming along. The channel seems to be getting some attention, and I appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you do. It'll support the channel, also helps my family. When you subscribe, go ahead and hit the bell at the bottom. That'll give you the notification when I upload a new video. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share the video. Until we see each other again, everybody stay blessed.